So, how we doing, everybody? This time I'm gonna make a quick video while I'm going ahead and preparing my lunch, breakfast, and dinner for today. Going ahead and doing some toast sourdough bread right now. I have some a mix of spicy canned tuna with some Louisiana hot sauce, mayonnaise, and chopped onion, Roman tomato, and some romaine lettuce. That's for lunch. I'm gonna see about doing some tilapia pasta for dinner early on tonight. I'm gonna finish up the sushi rice, probably with some egg and some fruits. So, what's the topic for today's video? Now, this is something I thought about for a while. It has pertains to how we live our lives and what we choose to do with them. And one thing I can understand is this, is that you cannot run from yourself. What exactly does that mean? Just going ahead and putting this on the saute pan with the butter. Let's lower down the temperature so it doesn't burn that much. So what is it that we go through in life? Well, one of the things that we all go through is we all make mistakes. We all have our baggage. We all have things that happen to us that we keep inside of our mind, body, and spirit, our heart and soul, which has an effect on how we live and our behaviors. And going through what we go through in our childhood and what we have experienced in our homes with our parents, what we experience in school, and in our everyday lives growing up, it causes us to act and behave in certain ways. And that can have a positive and a negative effect on us. For example, I remember when I was at a homeless shelter and I would go to AA and NA meetings because most of those people there had problems with drugs and alcohol. And I would hear all these stories about what these guys had gone through growing up. They had abusive parents and they grew up in extreme poverty. They always were beaten down by other kids at school. They had everything. They were successful businessmen and businesswomen, bankers, what have you. Oh, it's my landlord about to go out for a walk with her dog. I'm just making a video right now. Hold on, let me turn on the fan. Let's see. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and making a toasted tuna fish sandwich for lunch. And I'm going to do some tilapia pasta for dinner tonight. So
I put it in the refrigerator because
yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I just want to thaw it out just so I can cook it today. I'm just making a little YouTube video right now. It's something I like to do on the side. You know,
it's getting smoky in here.
that's why I got the fan on. All right. Well, anyways, so that's an example of how we go through having a lot of baggage. And for me personally, see, my childhood growing up was a bit bittersweet. And growing up in a home in which I had two parents that, although they were together up until when I was 11, 12 years old, their relationship was very tumultuous because they did not have themselves together. Their relationship was filled with a lot of arguing, bitterness towards each other. Sometimes they were fighting with each other. I can remember certain times in which they would go at it with each other in the car when we would go out as a family on the weekends. And even I remember a few times in which when I was growing up as a kid, my dad would not be at home for a few days. And I would ask my mom, so where's dad? And then she told me at the time, well, dad's on a weekend trip. He's going somewhere for the weekend, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got older, she told me that my dad was actually in jail for abusing my mom. But growing up and seeing how they were two broken individuals that had a lot of baggage in various ways. My dad had complained about, well, my parents never really loved me. My dad was never really there. He was working all the time. And my mom, she was a fire-breathing dragon. You know, she would yell and blah, 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 blah. And my dad would just take it. And my mom would explain, my dad was abusive, you know, and my mom would just turn a blind eye and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, well, It's like I've heard being said before. It's not about what has happened to you, but what you do about it. See, everyone has problems. Everyone has things that happen to them growing up. The only difference between people who are successful, people who are not successful, is what are you going to do about your problems? Everyone's got them. Well, that doesn't make you special. But what are you going to do about it? And see, we go through life, for many people, taking the easy way out and having the whole victim mentality. You know, blaming and complaining. Blaming and complaining. Let's see if we can have this right here. I'm going to go ahead and just put this down right here for now so I can get the prepared for a tuna fish sandwich right here. Anyways, let me get back to see how that this toast. Oh. A little charred, but hey, not a big deal. So, what is it that we get down to with this? So many people want to take the easy way out by blaming what has happened to us in the past and what we go through every day from others. But that's a cop-out. That's a cowardly act. Because it's not as though you are special given that you go through X, Y, and Z. Because everyone goes through X, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and blah, 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 to X, Y, and Z. I mean, for me personally, it's like going through the stuff I went through growing up as a kid. I could go ahead and take the easy way out and blame my parents about what I've been through, which I used to do at a certain point. But then I realized, you know what? What I have to do is not go ahead and repeat the same mistakes in life that they had. Because I'll tell you this, without going into too many details, the fact that they went ahead and took the easy way out and blamed others for what they've been through and yada, 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 has put themselves in a situation in life right now which is not very good. I don't want to go through too many details about that, but let's just say I know for sure I do not want to repeat the same mistakes that they have. No. There is a picture of a comic strip on the wall of this house where I grew up, where my dad has had his BMW on mechanic shop. And it starts out with a picture of a young boy and a little red wagon with his dog. And then once the boy is climbing up this hill, which is a metaphor for life, he carries all this baggage. Bad habits, thank yous never given, dastardly deeds. And then as he gets older, when he climbs the hill with the little red wagon with his dog, the baggage becomes bigger and it says, dastardly deeds, thank yous never even thought about, and unforgivable acts, and all this other stuff. And then the strips, the next few pictures shows him as an old man with all of this baggage that is really heavy and he can't carry it anymore. And the second to last strip, you see him in the distance and he's in a cane, he's struggling to get off the hill, and the last picture is just the red wagon by itself. What does that mean? That means that when we carry a lot of baggage, it's eventually going to kill us. Maybe not physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually. So one of the main things in life that we have to do in order to rid ourselves of this baggage is to not repeat the same mistakes. Is to not blame others. Is to not take the easy way out that many people do, but take the hard road in life, which is more worthwhile, and just choosing to be better at what we do with everything every day. Like for me as example, I read different books to help me grow as a person. Like I've been checking out this one book, Be Water My Friend, by Shannon Lee, Bruce Lee's daughter. And she talks about her father's philosophy and how he's chosen to live his life. And I love reading books like that. I've been reading books like this ever since I was in middle school. Like one of the very first books like this I read was The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, which were 4 basic principles on how you can live your life and better yourself. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best and be impeccable with your word. 4 basic principles that you don't necessarily need to read a Bible or anything about. Just good ideas. I believe in good ideas where I can find them. And so I apply these ideas into my life so I can become better at what I do. And even just this, I work 7 days a week. I work 3 days in the meat seafood department of a high-end grocery store called Bristol Farms, which is where a lot of rich people shop at. You got to have money to shop there. They even have like a fish, like a halibut that's just $35 per pound, or they might even have steaks. They're about $40 a pound. Dry aged prime steaks. And I learn about all different types of cuts of meat and how to process and prepare it, how to make hamburger meat, how to marinate meat, and how to tenderize meat and all this other stuff, because cooking is what I want to do. I mean, look at this. One of my signature dishes, tuna fish sandwich, spicy tuna fish sandwich. That came out pretty nice, did it? That's for lunch today. And then even just beyond that, other than that, I work as a cook at Red Lobster, and they see the value in me and how I am as a worker, and they give me a raise. And now they're putting me on the grill to understand about it. Then later on this week, I'm going to be training on the grill so that I can go ahead and take over a certain position, even though I got something else in the works later on this fall. So I'm also about to go to the gym pretty soon, within about an hour and a half from now, after I get my meals prepared. I work out 5 days a week. I've been working out with a few guys there. I've been starting working out with these 2 guys who are former Marines that do heavy duty workouts, and they also like to go in the punching bag. And I've been going ahead and learning how to fight and punch with them a bit. And they're all a bunch of cool guys. I mean, I want to associate myself with people who want to go ahead and continuously better themselves. Not staying the same and not going backwards, and definitely not living their life like a fucking roller coaster. Hell no. I am not interested in being in a part of other people's lives whose are filled with nothing but chaos and confusion and bullshit and drama. Fuck all that. Hell no. I mean, I have much better things to do with my life than associating myself with people who are that way. I mean, it gets down to what George Carlin said about children. When people say, oh, all children are special, and blah, 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 blah. And then he said this: not all children are smart and clever. Kids are like any group of people. A few winners and a whole lot of losers. But again, the reason why you lose is because you make yourself lose. No one has a gun to your head forcing you to do anything. You chose to do what you wanted to do. I'm just putting all this in here. Getting all this bagged up for today with the sandwiches. I mean, it's just I get sick and tired of other people who want to blame everyone else and everything for why their lives are the way they are. You ought to blame yourself. That's the difference between successful people and people who are not successful. People who are not successful, all they do is just blame and complain. 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 And then they end up screwing up their lives. Whereas I will say, you know what? I may be in the situation right now, but I have to put in the work in order to better myself and get out of it. I'm not going to wait on anybody or anything to help me unless I really need it. I have to help myself. That's good tuna sandwich mix. But anyways, so, it says people want to go ahead and just wait and wait and wait and wait. and wait for things to get better. That never works. If you wait for things to happen, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, let me put it another way. If I want to live my life like any animal, I want to live my life like a tiger. See, like I said before, in one of my previous videos, I realized that I am like a lone wolf. I'm like a lone apex predator. I live my life in order to do what it is I really want to do. Not to impress anybody else except for myself. Let me check on the laundry a little bit. It's a pretty nice washer right here. My landlord has very good taste. So, what is a tiger? A tiger is a very deadly and dangerous apex predator, mainly in Asia, around India, Sri Lanka, and even a little bit in Siberia, eastern Russia. It's one of the deadliest and most violent animals in the world. You do not want to fuck with it. I remember in an article on Wikipedia that the tiger has been responsible for killing between, 1800 to the early 2000s, 373,000 people. You know, it is a deadly and dangerous motherfucker. I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm going to be in the bathroom right now. So, what it is about the tiger that makes it special is that it's not waiting on anyone or anything in order to get what it wants. When it sees something it wants, it goes in for the kill. So, not bad bathroom or whatever. Part of the noise, you know what it is. So anyways, I mean, a tiger is not waiting on anyone or anything. It doesn't pray to God. It doesn't pray to Jesus or whatever to get food. It's like, oh, I'm hungry. Let me go and pray. Let me wait on someone else to get something for me. A tiger like that, you know what's going to happen to it? It's going to starve and it's going to die. Whereas a tiger that's a real tiger, it figures out where its prey is. It waits in the darkness, it waits in the shadows at the right moment when the prey least expects it, and then it goes in for a kill like, Gah! That's how I want to be. That doesn't mean I want to go out and hurt other people and kill people like tigers do. I just want to be a killer when it comes to living my best life. And not wait on anyone or really anything unless they're really wanting to help and go in the same direction as I do as far as living my best life. But in that process, I need to go ahead and constantly better myself every day and see every day as an opportunity to go ahead and change who I am, not to impress other people, but just to live more of a happy and fulfilled life. Not everybody does that, but it is what it is. And you can't just keep running away from yourself and your own fears and insecurities. Because that, in the end, like what happened with that comic strip of the old man with the little red wagon, all that baggage and everything is going to stick with you. And it's just going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier till you just can't hold it anymore. You got to let that baggage go. You can only let that baggage go by changing your ways along the way and forgiving yourself and forgiving others for what has happened to you. My parents are the way they are, and it is what it is. They're only human, and a lot of people in general, they don't have themselves together. But I can only just disassociate myself from those who don't want to better themselves and keep going backwards or staying the same. Like Dan Pena said about highly successful and productive people, eagles fly alone. I'd rather be an eagle that is free to go wherever they go, where they want to go, than to have an ankle weight of dealing with other people's problems and BS. And the only person's bullshit and drama I want to deal with is mine. And I'm already dealing with enough of it. You know what I'm saying? So, it gets down to this, man. I don't care what you've gone through or what's happened. There's this one TV show that I've been checking out recently, again, which is one of my favorite animes. And one of the only animes I watch anyways, because a lot of them honestly are really corny. But it's called Samurai Champloo. About two samurai renegades named Mugen and Jin who help a young Japanese girl in feudal Japan find her father, who's a samurai that sells the sunflowers. And Mugen was offered a job with a local gang in a town to work for him. And he said, I don't work for anyone but myself. And he said, I believe in nobody but me to accomplish what I want to do. And then this one guy who works for one of the higher ups of the gang said, hey, you can't just keep living your life like that. Things are not the same as how they used to be. You need to go ahead and dedicate yourself to someone in order to live a good life. And then Mugen said, you can make all the excuses you want, but you're the one who decides how you want to live your life. I'm going to decide to live my life to the best of my ability and live my best life. If everyone else doesn't want to do that, fine. I can't get caught up in all the bullshit anymore. I can only get caught up in my own shit. And I don't want other people's shit to fuck my shit up. And otherwise, just get the fuck out of my face. Thought for today. Enjoy your life. Take advantage of it. Keep bettering yourself, guys. Peace out. Have a good one.